Hi, Jessica. Yes, this is what you do. You make categories. This is great if you have compositing experience. So for me, I have digital, traditional, and then I have like curriculum stuff because I've taught and I've written things, and so I just break it down as simply as possible. And for you, photography, compositing, illustrating, branding. I think instead of branding, you say graphic design. So you just try to be pretty broad, and then you can put what you want under that. So as far as branding, I would put your style guide. Um, that's good enough. And also when starting out, if you make more broad term categories, it looks like more. Okay, so that said, the other question, student work or personal, never call anything student work. So I've done volunteer work. As I get older and more established, I seem to do more volunteer work, which I don't understand. It should be the opposite. So I don't categorize that as volunteer work. I might put it on my resume if someone wants to see it, but I just throw it into whatever it is. So for you, you've done tons of student work and you've done lots of different projects for your different classes. So you can talk about the concept, the goal of the project, but you don't need to say assignment, class, professor, student. For example, I found a website that is from a couple years ago, the 7 best portfolio sites of 2017. I like this site, this creative block. I seem to go to it a lot for many different reasons. So I typically like the examples they use, but a good example for what you're looking at is this Australian student. So she had a lot of student work on here. For example, this Fora was a make-believe company. You can tell because nobody's going to read that much content unless it's from a lawyer. But, she just kind of did a playful layout of what the covers might look like. And then at the bottom, she talks about the project as if it was a real thing. Now, I'm not saying you should lie, but I think you just need to talk about the work for the sake of work. If someone wants to ask you if there's a difference between what you've done professionally and student work, well, then by all means talk about it. But your goal is to get your foot in the door and you want an interview, right? So here's another thing that looks like it was probably student work. You can tell it was just kind of experimental, kind of hard to read all caps things. Yeah, so the way she worded things is just sort of factual without discussing school. So that's what I recommend doing. Hope I answered your questions. Let me read it one more time. Okay, I think I've answered your question, and if I haven't, let me know. Bye-bye. Good night.